So I picked up those three words. The first one is light. The second one is memory. And the third one is metaphysics. I picked up light because it's super key for my work. It's all centered about a precise light, a precise moment in the day that is like around the golden hour, like the end of the afternoon. And I very carefully, let's say, explore the Adriatic coast at this precise moment in order to capture the light with my camera. That's a Zenza Bronica, by the way, and I use only Kodak Portra 400 in order to, let's say, to capture this exact quality of light. Okay, and this is because, and this is the second keyword, that is memory. It's because it's very very much linked with, let's say, the souvenir of my teenage age. So the teenage years, where I spent a lot of time along the Adriatic coast, and I had this very precise memory related to the light, and I wanted to capture it and make it available again for me and for the public. It's all a question of trying to replicate not only a memory, but a feeling, let's say, a sort of a certain aesthetic related to the 80s and the 90s, where this kind of urbanism of the Adriatic coast was extremely, let's say, was considered beautiful. And then it has been, of course, the time passing and all has transformed it into something that is basically considered as an architectural disaster. But if you pick up the right light, it still has this magic around this dream. Okay, and it's at the end related to the third word, that is metaphysic, because I believe that my photography is very close to certain research made, for example, by a very famous Italian painter, De Chirico, okay, where the architectural space is sublimated thanks to light and thanks to geometry into something that is way much symbolical. So I decided to start the project one afternoon. I was along the Adriatic coast in a very small village called San Salvo Marina. And I was there. I was back in Italy and along the Adriatic coast for the first time since 15 years, because I spent most of my adulthood in Paris. And it was very rare to be back in Italy, and especially to have time to explore the coast. And I was there with my newborn daughter and my wife, and I was there just to have a look at the beach. And I had a sort of, I was like walking around with my camera, and I had a sort of epiphany, you know, a moment of big illumination, like a disclosure, and looking at those incredibly ugly buildings, I felt completely in love, you know. It was like, oh my God, I love this landscape, and I decided to try to understand why and to explore. So I had, like, of course, memories coming up, and I started to shoot. And the more I shoot, the more I realized that I wanted to explore and understand. And that's basically the reason why I decided to start the project. But then the project was a very long research, because I started it in 2018, and then I kept on shooting 19, 20, 21. And because I needed to also to recover some of the places and stuff. And you know, again, because of the light, it was a very limited window of time. But yeah, the very starting point was this moment with my family and the desire to bring back this feeling. The project is very different from what I imagined at the beginning, because at the beginning, I mean, I wanted very strongly to do a book, because I think that, especially considering the fact that this project is very much related with memory and with a very important part of my life, I wanted it fixed in something, you know, solid. Because if you just have pictures, I mean, the digital world is the most ephemeral thing, but also if you have exhibit or whatever, it just like lasts for a few weeks and then it's over. Whereas a book is something that, at least in my imagination, resists a little longer. But apart from that, at the very beginning, I imagined a very simple book, and then starting to work, I had to, let's say, face a lot of challenges, from the production to the choice of the team behind it. And I have to say that it's very important to remind everybody that for Adriatico, it was really a teamwork, because I worked extremely closely with Claudio Musso, the curator, that helped me also, let's say, focus on the very matter of the work, and then work very closely with me in selecting the right pictures. And then, of course, with Sara Occhipinti of Studio Faganella, who has done the editing, an amazing work, and Federico Barbon, that has put together all the, of course, all the graphic design. And last but not least, Giulia Cavaliere was written together with Claudio, another great text. And all of that was a lot of teamwork, a lot of time spent, a lot of nights and weekends for everybody. And of course, little by little, all this teamwork has put together an object that, from very simple and very basic, just, you know, pictures on white sheets, has become something much more complex. But I'm super happy with that. Of course, it's like it has put it on a completely different level. So, and of course, then all the work with the publisher, with Kerber. So it has been really, I feel it more like a collective work than just my personal, and it's very important to say.